in the quiet, historic heart of Virginia, along a scenic stretch of road designed for tourists, families, and lovers. A series of murders unfolded that would leave 8 people dead and no one ever convicted. For nearly a decade, bodies were discovered near the Colonial Parkway, a winding road connecting Williamsburg, Jamestown, and Yorktown. The victims were young. Most were couples. Most were found in or near their cars. And despite decades of investigation, the killer or killers were never caught. Tonight, we are uncovering the full story of the Colonial Parkway murders, one of America's most disturbing and overlooked unsolved crime sprees. The Colonial Parkway is not an ordinary road. It stretches 23 miles through eastern Virginia, passing forests, rivers, and historic landmarks. It has no commercial traffic, no billboards, no streetlights. At night, it becomes eerily dark. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, it was a popular spot for couples on dates, college students, locals seeking privacy. Few could imagine it would become the hunting ground for a serial killer. On October 9, 1986, Kathy Thomas, 27, and Rebecca Dowski, 21, disappeared. They were last seen at a bar in Newport News called Mugshots. Witnesses later recalled seeing the women leave together, but what happened next remains unclear. Days later, their car was found abandoned near the Colonial Parkway. Inside were their purses, their IDs, their money. No signs of struggle. 6 weeks later, their bodies were discovered in a wooded area miles away. They had been posed. Investigators suspected strangulation, but evidence was limited. At the time, police did not believe this was the start of the series. They were wrong. Just 1 year later, on September 19, 1987, David Nobbling, 20, and Robin Edwards, 14, vanished. The couple had been parked near the Colonial Parkway, a known lover's lane location. Their car was later found, doors unlocked, keys missing, no signs of violence. For days later, their bodies were found in a remote wooded area. Both had been shot. This time, investigators began to worry. 2 cases, same area, young couples, cars left behind, but still no arrests. On April 9, 1988, Anthony Ferrara, 18, and Elizabeth Thomas, 17, went missing. They had attended a party and planned to spend time together before heading home. Their car was found submerged in the York River. At first, authorities believed it was an accident, but divers later discovered something chilling. The gear was in neutral. The windows were down. The couple had not drowned. They had been murdered before the car entered the water. Now, a terrifying pattern was impossible to ignore. In October 1989, James Jones, 23, and J.C. Dugard, 18, disappeared after visiting a naval base. Their car was found on the Colonial Parkway. Inside, their belongings. No forced entry. No blood. Their bodies were later found miles apart. One victim had been strangled. The other stabbed. The killer's methods were changing. Or, there was more than one killer. By the early 1990s, the FBI became involved. But mistakes had already been made. Crime scenes were contaminated. Evidence was lost. Cases were investigated separately. Some detectives believed the killer impersonated law enforcement. Others suspected a military connection due to proximity to naval bases. One suspect was questioned repeatedly, but never charged. DNA evidence existed, but technology at the time wasn't advanced enough. Theory 1. A single serial killer. Someone familiar with the Parkway. Comfortable stopping cars. Possibly posing as police. Theory 2. Multiple killers. Different methods. Different signatures. Connected only by location. Theory 3. Law enforcement involvement. The ease of control. The victim's compliance. The lack of struggle. No theory has ever been proven. Today, the Colonial Parkway murders remain unsolved. Families are still waiting. Evidence is still being re-examined. DNA technology offers new hope. But time is running out. Some roads carry history. Others carry secrets. And the Colonial Parkway carries both. If you believe cold cases deserve justice, If you want more real American crime stories like this, subscribe, like, and share this story because someone somewhere still knows the truth.